Sydney Sweeney. Okay. As you guys know, we're big fans of Sydney Sweeney. The problem is, Sydney Sweeney is a real human being. And when you're a real human being, sometimes you're not going to be under horrible light. You're not going to look the same as you do on the cover of a magazine. Sydney Sweeney shows off bikini body lounging outside a $13 million Florida Keys mansion. And this guy actually responded to this, and I didn't even like his response either. But he's referencing like all of the people that were like, what the fuck? Like, all women are catfishes. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. It's really crazy how like 85 to 95% of men can't seem to figure out that 80% of what they find attractive is painstakingly, carefully curated presentation, 10% plastics and filler, and about 10% base model female. As soon as the presentation isn't carefully curated, they get turned off and confused. And Emily Sears is correct, by the way. This is broad daylight and the absolute most unflattering lighting possible. Give her a break. Like, Sydney Sweeney is incredibly attractive. Like, she is fine as hell. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Awooga, you know what I mean? But the way that like people respond to this shit, is so fucking crazy. Like, we need to sedate the masses. You know what I mean? Like, you need a sedative immediately. If you look at this photo and you're like, this is all women are catfishes. The question is to what degree? Like, you look at these photos and you think, oh, gross. You're a freak. Okay? Do you not have mothers? Do you not have sisters? Have you never been around a woman? Do you not understand that, like, of course, people are not going to always look their best, their very best? And she still looks fantastic here. I don't understand it. Like, have these guys forgotten what real human beings look like? Now, the reason why I'm saying, do you not have a mom or a sister or a cousin or something, is because I know they don't have girlfriends. Okay? I know they do not have girlfriends, because if they ever had girlfriends, they would know that, yeah, of course, someone being dolled up is going to look different than when, you know, they're waking up in the morning. And it doesn't even matter. It's not even saying, I'm not even saying that, like, oh, when you're not dolled up to your very best, when you're maxed out with the best lighting possible, like, that's the only time you look fuckable and great or whatever. Like, you're a fucking freak. Just be a human being. Be a normal human being. What the hell is wrong with people? And obviously, the real academic, not to get super like academic on this, but the real reasons as to why people feel this way is because, one, their society just like automatically slots women, patriarchy automatically slots women into objects of desire who are fuckable and only good for that, or completely worthless. And it's insane. It's fucking insane. It's an unrealistic depiction of Sydney Sweeney here. She's obviously catfishing. Where's the lens flare reflecting off the perspiration on her titties like that Korea sword game? Yeah. I feel like most men who act like this, I've never been in a position to wake up next to a woman in the morning. Have never been in a position. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just like capital G gamers, these people expect every person and everything to cater to the taste and expectations. They just don't understand what's the matter with the way she looks. There's no issue with the way she looks. It's just that she doesn't look like the last time this guy jerked off to her. That's it. That's the thing that they're frustrated by. They're like, they don't understand how like a physical body works. They don't understand that like you can bulk up for a specific role as an actress. They don't understand that like, you know, a creep shot in broad fucking daylight is not going to look the same. But this works in every facet of our lives. This is why so many people at early ages develop body dysmorphia, because they see airbrush photos of like fitness influencers, or they see how people look and they think this is how I'm supposed to look at all times, when that's not how it works. Okay? That's not how it fucking works. That's not, you're looking at an unrealistic expectation. Now, I'm not advocating to I don't know, stop Photoshop or anything like that, or I'm not advocating to abolish the way that the way that magazines work, or the way that media works, and where every frame is supposed to be perfect. I'm not saying that at all, but I hope that people can understand that is not how that's not how the real world works. And for me, it's like you have to be a complete shut-in. Okay? You have to be a complete brain-broken shut-in who is so far removed from having any real-world experiences that you think, well, I don't understand. Like, where you're like, I don't get it. What's going on? She's being a catfish, I think. It's craziness. It's actually fucking nutty. I feel like there was some semblance of social pressure that used to exist, where if you had attitudes like this openly, other people would check you. In a group of friends, if you were like, yo, you see that Sydney Sweeney photo, dude? Like, she looks busted in it. Other friends that you used to have in the real world would probably be like, yeah, dude, that's normal. I don't know if you've ever encountered a woman or whatever. Or just a human being, not even just a woman, just a human being in general. Like, that's normal. They're not always going to look the way that they do in a fucking photo that you jerked off to. Stop being gay, dog. That would be a normal conversation to have in this situation. You know? I'm not saying I would exhibit this homophobic tendency, but like, that's how it would work in a normal situation. But because people are only online nowadays, yes, there is this social degradation. We have become more degenerate. As someone who works on and edits photos all day, there's been this big shift outside of the modeling industry to embrace the imperfect. I think fashion and movies and branding is slowly following suit, but these coomers stop the momentum because they are the dumbest consuming whales. Yeah. To be fair, the men making these comments are supermodels. Yeah. Well, for them, obviously you don't have to be, right? Obviously, for men, they don't have to be. They have to just be successful. And even if they are not successful, that also doesn't matter. Even if they're fucking shut-in losers, okay, with no discernible footprint, and the only thing that they are doing, is just like yelling into the fucking wind, it still doesn't matter. Because as long as they say stuff like this, they get affirmation from other men who are also losers in the same way, and that makes them feel like they are reaching some level of success. This is the model for the Naughty Dog game, by the way. Tati Gabrielle. But here's the other side of this, okay? Here's the other side of this. A lot of this stuff stays online. The problem is we are all becoming more online. We are losing sight. We are losing sight of what it means to not be online. We're losing sight of like what it means to exist in the real world. And things online are increasingly changing the real world as well. So I am very fearful of what this spells for the future of interpersonal relationships, culture, societal attitudes broadly. Because in the past, like, there was a level of shame that people could enforce upon you, a little social shame. There's another point you're not bringing up, and it's that men will focus on women's appearance as a form of control. No, absolutely. I addressed the way that patriarchal constructs work in this circumstance, but you're right. That is another aspect of this as well. It's like, oh, if you're scantily clad, then you need to put on some clothes. And if you're not fuckable and not jerk offable, then, you know, what the fuck are you doing? You need to be an object of my sexual desire. It's gross.